we want to be hard to get. We want to be pursued. We want to be the one he chases after. We want to be that one, right? It's interesting because my first date with my husband, my friend called me that day. I was in a restaurant, and my friend called me. She goes, "Oh, I saw you on your first date." And I said, "How'd you know I was on first date?" She said, "Because the way you were acting. Is the way we act in a date. Like we're just so put together, and we're the best actress, right? Right? And we don't eat too much, and we wipe after ourselves, and we're just flirty, and
I was
we're
not
so
that
proper."
perfect. I took my shoes off and just gave it to him to carry.
Wow. This is bad.
Because I put the wrong shoes,
The wrong
and we
shoes.
went. He takes me to a brighter, and the shoes were was like such a thin stick. It would keep sticking.
No.
Once got stuck 2 times, 3 times. I took it
Oh
off. I
no,
said,
that's
"Carry."
smart.
And that's how you caught him.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a
It's like-
certain way.
She said because it's so put together.
Yes, or not. Okay. So that's yes.
I wasn't nice
Like,
on
I'm
my first
done.
date.
You were nice.
No.
You were nice.
But purposely.
Purposely.
You were comfortable on the first date like that already?
I don't know. It's like sometimes like actually there was documentary that was showing that if you go out with a person that's like I guess like you care too much and you're like so shy and everything, then you just won't do anything. It's like she said, you'll be like very well put together and like. But if you look at the person and you didn't care at that moment, you'll be eating more
Yeah.
and you'll be like,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's just like okay,
That was me when
like,
I was
you're not the one. I don't know what I thought that time. I just came into this country, was here with a month only, and had so much responsibilities. The oldest child, so much to think about.
Wow.
It's like
Yeah.
meeting somebody every single day. It was crazy. It's just
Yeah. Different time.
After 30 years, right, and you apply these tools, like you're married 30 years, and you apply these tools, I could just imagine like your husband's reaction,
Yeah.
right?
There are women who did apply. Who
I
did
feel
apply.
like a
It-
husband's
it's
gonna
like
be
I
like,
should rewind and
"What do you
ask him
want?"
what did he think that time when I handed him my
Yeah,
shoes.
but try it, and the women did.
Carry.
Thousands of women did.
I personally think that regardless of the time,
Yeah.
20 years, 30 years, I was also married for 30 years. And it's there's always room for improvement, you know, and feelings fade,
Yeah.
and you get
Yes.
sometimes caught
dreaming
up with
further away.
hardship, life, pandemic,
Yeah.
all
And
those
also
stuff.
kind of like, I feel like whenever you're married for so long, I mean, that's at least what I've seen with a lot of couples who are married for more than 30 years, people kind of grow apart also.
That's because of the dryness.
But
The
the
dryness.
question
of the
is like, I listen to you and you say that how much do you know about your husband? But the question is right now what I see how much do you know about yourself?
Yeah.
You have to
How
know
much
yourself
do you
first.
know what you want and what would make you happy and
Yeah.
like
Who you truly are.
Yes.
it's like often enough we always
don't
try
know.
to change someone else. But
Right.
how
True.
about to change yourself?
Right.
And I would suggest take a goals, personality kind of thing. They have a lot of these tests online where they give you 5-year goals, 10-year goals on yourself, and know who you are. And only when you know who you are, do you know where to go, really. So I would just put it in that way. Okay. So here we go. So we like to be pursued. We like to be chased, right? Even as wives of many years, just married. And it's very exciting in the beginning. But, sorry, Tova. Okay. No, it is supposed to be exciting. Now, we like that. We like to be pursued. In the bedroom, the men like to pursue you. They like to be the one to take clothes off, to be the one to do less. We
To
don't
be
want
the
to
dominant.
the dominant one, and we like that, right? So even if you're wearing next to nothing, wear something that he can just uncover. He likes that. He likes to be the one to discover. That's his like manly self. And let's say you want to be intimate. You don't want to tell him, I want to be with you tonight, right? Because that's demanding. So you tell him. So you just get into bed early. I'd love to go to bed with you. Give him a passionate kiss or hug him and tell him I really want to be with you. Smile. And in the bedroom, you want to put on something that's alluring, that's captivating. And that's a signal to him, I want to be with you, right? Some people have like the candles. Like if she lights her fake candle or real candle, that means she wants to be with him, right? That's another thing. And then he's like, oh,
The hint.
and then he'll come to you, yeah, and he'll say, you know, honey, I'm not in the mood. Maybe he won't be. Maybe he's just too tired. But he'll say, I want to catch up in the morning. Or I want to tomorrow night. Or whatever. And it's fine. At least he knows. Maybe he'll give you a massage or something. You know that you want to be with him. That's like his signal. But you're not demanding. You're not getting upset. Because he's also human. He's also tired. But you want to make sure at least twice a week that you are together.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is my first workshop,
Yeah.
class, whatever, how open we can be. But it's very interesting. Like, I live in a 3-bedroom house, 2 floors. So the kids are home, of course, and my kids are big already. And like you said, the bedroom has to look better than the hotel.
Yeah.
So if tomorrow I decide to put candles and roses and change my bed cover sheets, my kid's gonna come and say, what's going on?
Home Depot lock. Home Depot lock. And you know what? They should know that your marriage is the most important thing. That the most important thing is the marriage and the kids. By the way, regarding spending time together, once, as often as you can, really, you got to get away together, just the two of you, without the kids. Mm-hmm. It's a whole game changer.
To reconnect.
It's a life changer, and it's a gift to your children. I love you guys, but I need to be with your Abba. We need to spend time together. You need to look. You may not feel it now, but especially with kids, right?
My children tell me like, Mama, you need a break. Go on a date with Papa.
Yeah.
They tell me that.
Yeah.
Because I tell them because before when they used to cry about it, I would say, do you like when Mom and Papa argue or do you like when Mom and Papa are happy? And then they're like, we like when Mom and Papa are happy. Okay, I'm like, sorry.
How old are your children?
12, 10, and 6. They're young.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the biggest gift.
It starts from when they're younger, right? I mean, obviously, I don't have as much experience as you ladies, but
no, but for sure,
life is a bumpy road.
But the biggest gift, you're right, Rachel, and the biggest gift we can give is to our kids is shalom bayit. We want them to grow up saying, you know what, we didn't go to fancy places, and maybe we didn't go to camp, and maybe we didn't have as many things as our friends did, but we wanted to be home. And that's like the biggest gift you want to give to your kids. Really, in the end, it doesn't really matter, but sometimes because we're not thinking, we want to get that beautiful house, or live in that gorgeous community, or get that Italian dining set, because we're just not thinking. Once we're thinking, it's really not so important. And then we have parents who yell at their kids for the littlest scratch in their house because their house is more important than the kids. Because they're not thinking. Not because they're bad parents, because they're not thinking. So the biggest gift we can give to our kids is shalom bayit. And then you know your life. As often as possible, a few times a year, just get away, even for one night. Even for one night. It's so worth it. Okay. And I have great ideas on what you could do together, so you can definitely ask me. I'll try to get some of them today. Okay. So physically, it takes you time to get in the mood, right? You have to be in a good mood. First of all, you can't be upset at your husband, because that's gonna take you a long time to enjoy your time together physically. So you want to make sure you're relaxing. Try to do things to relax. Take a bubble bath. Put something nice. Watch something funny. Read a book. There's amazing books, like calming books, that I have 2 of them on how to be happier and how to be calmer. I think it's by Morea Seal. Morea Seal. Seal. Morea Seal. One on happiness.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of the book?
It's on happiness, and one is how to be calm.
On happiness?
Happiness. On the happiness and calm. How to be calm. And the practical tools, and you basically reflect. And she gives you practical. And I love these books. So I give them in my workshops, my character workshops. So you maybe want to do one of those, like a self-reflection. You get in the mood. You really do. You get in the mood. And you want to smell your candle. You want to do a meditation. Look at your wedding pictures together. So you want to get yourself in the mood. He's not going to all of a sudden. You have to be not upset. Okay? That's your job. Okay, that I covered. Okay. So, before...
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really...
Not for him to prepare you. You prepare yourself.
It's just like this, the whole workshop.
Yeah.
So job.
And the fact that, well, what happens, like, let's say, like, I'm in a workshop, I'm gonna, apply all these tools and skills I learned here, but I'm gonna be working on myself, but he's not working on himself.
He's gonna change with you.
Yeah.
He's gonna change.
No change.
This is proof.
My husband has never taken a class before.
And they will change. This is the nature of a man. He changes with the woman if she does it the right way. And you know what? Even women who are very religious become very religious, and their husband wasn't. In the beginning, they weren't, and she became very. He's much more if she does it the right way, right? And it's the whole point is not to be on the same level. Marriage is not to be the same. It's to marry. It's how I work with the differences. It's how I deal with the differences. See, the woman will go to a baseball game with her husband because he likes baseball, and he'll go to an opera theater, or he'll go to a brothel because she likes it. And how much love is that more? Because I know you don't like it, but I know you're doing it for me, right? So.
And also, I feel like acknowledge like the small things,
Yeah. Yeah.
like even like the small things that he changes, like acknowledge it. And I feel like he's gonna grow more. Like I feel like in the beginning, from observing other people, I've seen like whenever the wife calls like randomly and be like, "I love you," the husband goes, "What do you want?
What did you do?
How much money do?
Or
What do you
this
want
is
from
your
me?"
husband. You missed out.
Yeah.
Like gradually, that's better.
Okay. Okay. So.
Аферистический подходы не нужны. Говори, что хочешь.
Okay. So this is. We want to make sure.
What's wrong
Okay.
with you? Who are you?
I want to
What
make
have
sure
you
to
done
cover
with
this.
my wife?
Wow. Everybody has to go.
My husband works
10:20.
nights.
Nobody has to go.
And
No.
we all
Okay,
did
good.
COVID
Really-
test, and
really-
during the
Okay.
COVID time,
Huh?
and then
You have to go?
he came home
mean,
from
not
work.
now, but
I
like
said, "Get out." He said, "What did I do?"
Okay. What time do you?
I said,
I'm
COVID
gonna make it
positive."
quick.
I mean, I could stay.
That's
Good
it.
stay
I'm
fine.
quarantining out of my bedroom.
Okay, we're gonna try not to interrupt because we wanna finish
Yes.
it. This is the last class, and then if you wanna stay later, I'll answer questions. And I definitely wanna give you a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of stuff to give. Okay. So this is on striving to be vulnerable. Okay, vulnerable means how open I am with my husband. Okay, he's not your girlfriend. So sometimes wives get upset because you're not listening to me. You're on your phone all day. You listen to the people. Your mother calls. You always listen. You don't give me time. Right? He's not your girlfriend. He's not gonna say, "Wow, I'm sorry you had a hard day." That would be ideal, right? That would be nice. And yeah, there's a way you say this to your husband, and that's what I love to hear, right? But if you are constantly going through stuff in life, or you want to share things, right, about your job, about whatever, what happened. Of course, we don't talk about in-laws. We know that, but I cover that in different classes. But let's say you always want to share about your challenges, right? And your husband just like he's not the one that makes you feel better. So you want to have a good friend or a sister or a life coach or a rebbitzin, someone who you share things, who actually is there to listen and also to calm you down. And a good friend knows how to criticize. So a good friend is not the one who says, "Oh, you're so amazing." That's not a good friend. A good friend knows how to criticize you and say, "This is not like you. You could do better. Like, you're amazing, but, it directs you." That's a good friend.
Tell you the truth.
Tells you the truth in a nice way. And the trusted person. It's someone who's not going to show the world. It's not Lashon Hara class. It's not the one who's going to tell everybody about what you say. But someone who just like makes you feel better, like you had a hard day. Like you're going through so much. Your husband is not good at that. Nobody's husband is, right? Unless he's a psychologist, right? So
What if he pretends and you think he's like actually listening?
yeah, because he's really trying. He's really trying very hard, and we should give him credit for that. But it's not because he's good at it, or he's doing it for you because he loves you, because you want to be heard. You're going through whatever time. But if don't be upset at your husband if he's not listening to your lie, because they're very express people. Like if you tell your husband, "This happened to me today, and that happened, and this happened at work," what does he tell you? Go to bed early, take a Tylenol. It's the worst advice ever. What do you want to hear from your husband? "I'm so sorry you had a hard day. Baruch Hashem, I have a few master's degrees. I know to take a Tylenol. And I know to take a shower. I know what to do. I don't need you to tell me. What am I telling you this for? I'm sorry you had a hard day." But they don't understand that. So they'll tell you, "Go to bed early. Don't worry, I'll clean up the table, go to bed." That's what they'll tell you, because they're solution people. They are problem solvers, and we like that because they're very good at problem solving, right? That's why.
If you don't want it, like I don't always want it to be fixed. I just want you to listen.
Exactly, but there's a way to say it to your husband. I would love for you to say it, just like I would love to be heard and just to be told you had a hard day. It makes me feel so good, like that you heard me, and that's it. We want to leave you as much out of it, right? And he's like, oh, okay, right? It'll register eventually. Baruch Hashem.
Eventually.
My husband says it. It registered. It took him a while to register, but he knows this is what I want. Baruch Hashem. So it takes some time. But just know it's not because they're dumb and not because they're not capable. And not because they're a different species.
They're different species.
They are different. They're created
if they
differently.
have to be smarter than us, then we couldn't handle it.
Okay, so what does being vulnerable mean? Being vulnerable means three things. It means like letting my tears flow instead of masking my hurt with anger, right? Instead of getting angry, the worst thing I should be doing is crying, and that's the worst thing to him. It's like my wife, I made her cry, all right? When I'm angry, he's like, oh my gosh, she's a man. And he starts being defensive and yelling and cursing
Wait,
back.
so is it okay to cry?
Yeah.
It's
So
okay?
that's like the worst thing you
But then
want
I've
to do.
heard him say, "Oh, you're always crying."
No,
You
but
know?
isn't that I heard like it's like it's horrible if a man makes his woman cry.
Exactly. That's why he feels so low about himself, that he wants to help you, that you feel like your feminine
No,
side.
he's gonna say you're always crying.
It's fine. It's better than
In
yelling.
my case, I don't even know how to cry.
You guys should talk. So they don't like it when we're masculine. So whatever looks masculine, raising voice, cursing, yelling.
Yeah, but then if you're
leaving-
crying too much, they also don't like that either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Right. So because I'm taking it out on him a lot, that I need to know how to talk to someone, how to take care of myself
It's
more,
just,
self
if you
care.
do it constantly, they won't take you seriously.
Right.
Well, next time I want to cry, I'll go get a massage.
Yes. Yes.
You're gonna like that much better, trust
So
me.
you'll
And cry with your
enjoy.
head in the hole.
Yeah, you use your tears as a weapon. I feel like that gets
You'll enjoy
At that point, you won't be
intimacy.
serious anymore.
You'll enjoy intimacy to the degree you're being vulnerable with your husband. But he's not supposed to know everything about us, right? He's not supposed to know. You want to be open with him, but you don't need to say everything. Like, just because you love your husband, you don't need to say everything about yourself, why you hate her because of this. Like, if you're really being emotionally withdrawn that day you had a horrible fight with someone, or you're upset at someone or something like that, and he's going to make you feel better, okay, get it off your chest. It's a one-time deal. You know he's going to make you feel better. But don't be upset that you can't tell everything to your husband. Sometimes he's just not the one to, and he still loves you, and you can still be the best, wonderful couple. Okay? Okay. So you're crying when you're really hurt. You're not attacking back. It shows that you're being fragile. Like, I can be broken. Like, be careful. We're always teaching our husbands and other people, the whole world, on how to treat us. The way you treat yourself is the way other people will treat you. If I'm not respecting myself, what? Being fragile. Letting him see that I'm fragile. So if I'm not respecting myself, I'm doing everything. I'm always doing everything for everybody, and I'm not appreciative. It's because I'm not appreciating myself. I think I can do anything and everything at any time, and that's not true. Because Hashem gave me.
What if he feels that he's not being appreciated?
Then that's fine. We need to appreciate him more. Should I record that for you so you can tell
I'm
him?
recording.
Oh, you are. Just don't share with anyone.
No, this is for me.
Okay.
This is just
Question
audio.
is, are we really looking for appreciation?
No, that's
There's
different.
There are many things you do in life. You do it for yourself.
Right.
But
That-
there's different
yeah.
type of people.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
That's-
true.
that's a different
I think
avenue.
Some people need to be appreciated. I think everybody. would
Everybody
like
needs to be appreciated.
Everybody likes to be
Right, but
appreciated.
we're not doing things for appreciation.
Right.
That's a different class. I
Yeah,
just
but
want to.
I know. So we're not gonna get into it. But some people just like to be acknowledged
Yeah.
Right.
that they're
Most
appreciated.
right. That's usually an element of low self-esteem, and also an element of anger, and also an element. It's a lot of things.
I think it's also like a type of love, like a language of love.
True. But if
Some
it's like
people's language of love is words of affirmation.
true, but if it's constantly,
Yeah.
it's a problem. Right? I'm not happy with myself until I get appreciated. So it's a problem. Okay, so
That's a whole
one
nother
downside.
workshop. That's a whole nother workshop.
Another workshop. The flip side of being vulnerable, there's a flip side. The flip side is I'm gonna get hurt. Like the deepest things I tell him about myself, could use that against me. Like, And you're like, I don't want to tell him this because when in a fight, he'll tell me this and he's going to make me feel bad. First of all, in a fight, he may tell you this, but he doesn't do it to hurt you, right? He doesn't do it on purpose to hurt you. It's because he feels he wants to defend himself. He says it to defend himself because probably I said something and he wants to defend himself. That's what it is. But he doesn't intentionally wake up one morning and say, today I'm going to hurt her. He doesn't do that, right? He does it as a defense mechanism. He doesn't do it on purpose.
What about people who don't fight ever and keep everything into themselves?
That's not healthy.
It's not good. It's not good. That's another different workshop. Okay, when we are vulnerable, we let him become vulnerable. He starts opening up to us. It's like so we have to be the first one. Especially in the respect part, when I talked about respect, why do I have to respect him? A lot of women, especially in the secular, when they're too secular, they feel like he should do. The woman, if she does it first of all, she's submissive. She's the wise one. Not because he's not wise, but she sees the bigger picture. She knows that if she doesn't do this, he's just going to distance himself. She sees it. Even if you're right, apologize. I'm sorry I used that tone of voice. He's right away going to do something action-based to apologize. And maybe you'd like to hear sorry, and that's a different conversation you could have in the future. I'd love to hear some sort of apology. It makes me feel like we're one. He'll say it somehow. Sorry, whatever. He'll say it somehow, but you know that he's trying. It's not manly to do this stuff. That's why. But you love him manly, so you have to take both sides of the coin. Okay. When you're intimate, both verbally and both physically, you know things about each other that nobody in the world does, right? And that's fine. And that's supposed to be that way. You're not supposed to blast your intimate life on Facebook, but as most people do now, right? He took me there, he took me here, he bought me this. Yeah, really? When you have fights, you blast it on Facebook? I don't think so, right? So stop putting your life on Facebook.
Oh my God, you know what I once saw?
What?
There was this one post somebody put on Instagram, and somebody called me and told me like, oh my God, this guy put up a post, or this girl put up a post of all the different cards he ever wrote her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet, you know? And whenever I zoomed into it, there was one that said, I'm sorry for making you cry. I love you. And here's like flowers for that.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like maybe she didn't realize it, but like whenever she put it
Right.
all around, she didn't think that people are going to zoom into it, right?
Yeah.
I zoomed
So what did you think of that?
I thought like, you know, sometimes from far, things can appear one way.
Why?
You
Right.
know?
I love that.
Right? But whenever you zoom into a person's life.
I like that better than your WhatsApp thing.
Yeah, thank you. It's like.
Yeah, it's a very good one, right? We don't know.
Yes.
First of all, if you have something nice to say,
Like petty.
yeah.
Yeah, it is petty.
If you have something nice to say about your husband, call your mother and tell her what kind of husband you have. Because she's going to be so happy that he bought you flowers.
His mother or your mother?
Your mother. Talk about
My
him.
own mother?
Yeah, to tell about my husband just bought me flowers.
Gonna be
My
happy.
mother is my mother-in-law.
Right. Fine. Great.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Great. So you don't want to tell this even to your sister, to your sister-in-law, even though you're so close and you love each other. Don't do it. This is your intimate life. Intimacy also, he gets you something. You book a vacation together. There's nobody who feels so happy for you that they don't want it for themselves, right? They want to say, what about me, right? The only person who's really happy is your mother, happy for her daughter, okay? And his mother happy for her son. It's really the only two people. Really just like only the parents. And keep everything on the down low. Nobody really needs to know. Everybody has problems. And we don't want to make anyone jealous. There's no point. Okay. Okay. So vulnerability means a healthy, physical, intimate life. Okay? You're very healthy. The willingness to hang around through hard times because you know things about each other. It also gives you a spark of excitement. And, you know, the enduring look that two couples that are married for so long, that feeling of like, I got your back and you got mine, right? Rabbi Klatzko, he has a picture on the Facebook. Not that I'm on it so much, I'm just like on it for my classes. So anyway, He's in a lake with his pants rolled up. His wife is falling on him. He goes, honey, I always got your back. It's so cute. I love it. It is true. We know that there's one person who should get our back. It should be our spouse, right? So, as I mentioned in the past, what you want to tell your husband, when you want his attention, when you want his help, when you want his time, is I miss you. And he's going to say, you miss me? Let's say you want him to take out the garbage. Like, honey, I miss you. You miss me? And the wise woman, what did she say? I'd love to go to bed early tonight. I just don't want to clean up the kitchen. And he'll say, like, okay, you do this, you do that, I'll take out the garbage. Or like, he'll say, what do you need help with? He'll ask you, what do you need help with? You know, when we're being feminine and inviting, he wants to be around us. When we're being upset, not smiley, smile even when you fake it. You know, your neighbor comes in a second, we're smiling. We may not even like the neighbor. Come again for milk or whatever, potatoes or onions. Come again, because we want the neighbor to think that we like them. We really don't like them. They're our neighbors, right? How come I can't fake my smile for my husband? He has so much good. We worked on the workshop. Another thing is listing all the, which I don't want to see because I don't want to see the two negatives. The two negative things that really just like, you know, push your buttons that you just want to fight about. And look how much more good it is to him, right? You decorated your husband. You wrote all the positive things about your husband. Just say yes, Mazal. Because we're being recorded. Okay.
Mentally, yes.
So we may want him to stop watching TV, be more helpful around the house, spend so much time in the bathroom. So when he finally comes out of the bathroom, I miss you, honey. Okay, like not what have you been doing?
You've been in the bathroom for too long.
Yeah, text him. I miss you. No. A man feels masculine when he's delivering. He's the deliverer. So don't tell him.
Before you win it, after you give
We don't tell him two things. We don't tell him how to do something. We don't tell him what to do. We just make suggestions. Okay. Okay. This I covered. Okay, so what do you say to your husband when you're so overwhelmed and he asks you to do something that you know you're not going to do? And if you do, you'll be the worst witch ever that existed. Okay, I mean, not that the witches exist. And you want to be kind. You want to please your husband. You want to do his will because you want him to be the masculine one and you want to respect him, but you don't. You know, like you're not going to do this happily.
This is not happening now.
It's not happening. And if it is, he's going to hear about it for the next 50 years of our marriage, right? No. So when he says something to you like, this has been here since yesterday, you've been home all week, he tells you something, and you're just done, you're exhausted. What do you tell him? 2 words. I can't. Don't tell him, I'm sorry, I can't. Don't tell him, I would love to, but I can't. I can't. With a smile. Fake smile or real smile. Doesn't matter.
I can't.
I can't. He knows your limit. He doesn't know. You have to know your limits. He doesn't know how much energy you have, how much time you have, how overwhelmed you are, how you feel. We have to know ourselves. If you ask your family, that includes your husband and your children, would you love to have a wife who's always cooking gourmet food and a clean house? Or number 2, a happy wife, a happy mother and wife? They honestly would say both. That's their honest answer. But the realistic answer is that both doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Unless she's just not happy if she's always doing things. She needs to make sure she has time for self-care. Or she has someone like a cleaning lady going right behind her kids every single time doing just fixing it. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so we can't have both, but they'd rather have the happy wife. They'd rather have the happy wife. They would rather eat plainer food, and they'd rather have a happier atmosphere in the house. Okay. That's you? Okay. Okay.
Sorry. Hello? Yes.
Okay. You, in this way...
What if they don't want to go with the answer? I can't.
Too bad. They're going to tell you, what do you mean you can't? You haven't done this. What do you mean? They'll ask for suggestions. What do you mean? Because they're trying to solve the problem for you. Why can't you? Let me make your schedule. I can't.
What if they use that on you?
They're not going to. Unless you tell them about the workshop. No, this is only the females. This is only for the females.
Mostly the men will, like, if you're really, like, if you plead for it, almost to, like, give in.
No, you're more respected when you know yourself. But you're gonna say I can't in a feminine way. Like I can't. Too much I did. Right? Like
Just give him a reason. Like
I can't.
sometimes just give a reason. Like I'm not.
We don't need to give a reason because you're showing you're respecting yourself. Even when you're going out, I'm going out tonight for a lecture. Not can I please go out for a lecture. You're not asking his permission. You know what you want. Now you make sure he's fed. You make sure the kids are fed. You're giving a night is set for success. You're not just dropping everything on him. Okay, I'm going out tonight for a lecture. The baby's sleeping. The babysitter's coming. The food is on the table. Thank you so much for letting me go, for given me this time to go, not letting you go. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It makes me so happy that I go and make time for myself and spend time with my sister or whatever it is that you're doing. Right? That's what they want. They don't need the whole spiel. They're not parents. Okay, so I'm just gonna give a little wrap up of Torah concepts, and we're gonna give you all the good stuff. Okay. In marriage, this is Torah based, and then I'm gonna give you your supplies. In marriage, in the Torah world, our husband is the number one priority. Not your in-laws, not your children, not your parents. Now, there's specific questions I'll answer, but in general, husband is number one priority. His needs, whatever he says goes. In general. Okay. The number one oxygen for a man is respect. Whether he's right, he's wrong, this is how he functions. The number one thing for a woman is attention. He notices something that she did, she'll make him plov shashlik every day, like the biggest difficult meal, because she's being appreciated. She's being attended to. Attention is for the woman. Okay. That's why we tell our husbands, it makes me so happy. You tell him how to attend to you. What to do. They need directions, GPS. They don't know. Okay. And the good thing about it is every single minute we're married, we're a new couple. Whether we're married 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, we're new. There's no way you're the same couple today than you were before. There's no way. And that's so beautiful. Okay? Okay. So marriage is like a hot air balloon. It's filled with a lot of stuff. So what do I mean by stuff? What I mean by stuff is fluff. Pleasure, attraction, being attracted to each other, right? This is all fluff. It's not the real thing, right? I'm also a dating coach. I teach in my classes that you must be attracted to the person immediately. There's no such thing as later, right? You're attracted, but you know what really glues you together is your issues, your problems, what you overcame together, the respect you have for each other. You know what hurts him, he knows what hurts you, right? The intimacy, the connection. That's what, and you know what? If there's no Torah, if there's no Hashem, the marriage will pop. Most marriages are unhappy marriages. There's really a small percentage of happily married couples. Most of the time they're there because of the kids. They wait for them to get married. They don't want to shame themselves. What are people going to say? But people are mostly unhappy in dry marriages. Not because it's their fault. It's because they don't have the tools. If they don't learn, they don't have the tools.